Do people ever have the feeling that they're working on something they really enjoy, but still, it eventually tires them out? Because honestly, I've been feeling like this.
You have certainly exceeded expectations, Marianne. Everything looks so marvelous, and in such a short time, too.
Though moments like these make all the hard work worth it. Definitely.
Well, I can't take all the credit. People have certainly been enthusiastic about the idea of working on the right mansion. There won't be any more problems unless Mr. Wright has any more objections about the second bedroom.
Oh, no. We proceed with that room as planned. I already agreed to him having his greenhouse and his vineyard and his stables. He may as well let me have this one thing.
We're only about halfway done, but the honest satisfaction on the client's face is enough for me to push through. Let's face it, in between my exasperation at Mrs. Wright's antiques and her, I've been burning the candles at both ends. I can even close my eyes without seeing a dead girl's face. That girl, dead. She's dead. I have to keep reminding myself that, burying my feelings as deep as they've buried her body, 6 feet under. I shouldn't waste so much time on someone who's supposed to be gone. I've wasted so many years thinking about her already. There should be no need to bother myself with the dead, and I should be bothering myself with the living. Too bad the living are usually as complicated, if not more, than ghosts of the past.
But don't you have a party?
Yes. But Luke's just being a sweetie, you see. That friend he's visiting, he's having marital problems and he's just trying to cheer him up.
It's even more complicated when the living in question is a pair of rich and famous socialites way past their honeymoon phase. And I've been somehow roped into being a relationship counselor.
They've been married for a long time and they've hit a... how do they say it? A rough patch. His wife has a drinking problem and can be very neglectful. The poor thing really does his best to be a good husband. But it's never enough for her. Sometimes I think it's the years. Maybe it's been so long that they've lost that romantic spark. What do you think?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I need to ask. This is about you and Mr. Wright, isn't it?
Suppose it is. What would you tell me?
Then, I tell you it's none of my business. I tell you that I don't want to meddle. But if the troubled husband with the neglectful wife asked me for my honest opinion, I'd say that he shouldn't base his happiness and his self-worth on someone else.
The advice she has given in Hannah's room.
Maybe he should try being independent for a while. See what it's like when he isn't trying to please someone else and doing things for himself. Everyone's supposed to be their own man or woman, right? A bit of breathing room never hurt anyone. We shouldn't let our fear control our lives.
Why she thinks single women like me will be the best source of relationship advice is beyond me. Still, I talk and answer to the best of my abilities. Without realizing it, I'm already pouring out a part of me that I had thought were long gone. I'd like to believe my words will be of some help to Mrs. Wright. If I'm honest though, they are of some help to me, like some weight have been taken off my shoulders. Lorraine.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
The weight of what happened to her hasn't left me yet, did it?
I'll try to stay and chat. Maybe grab a few bites and a drink, but I can't be around for the entirety of the event. My apologies. Busy, busy, busy.
You must stay a while. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends, and they're ever so excited to meet you. You need to say hello to the Lees, at least. If it wasn't for them, I'd never even heard of you.
Maybe it's about time I changed that.
We'll see. So, if I can be excused?
Certainly. You'll have to excuse me as well. I must attend to the party before any early birds arrive. Because believe me, they will throw a fuss if things aren't ready, even when they're not supposed to be here until an hour later.
So I shouldn't dwell on the dead. I shouldn't just carelessly forget about them too. Saying that I have work left to do is an easy enough excuse to make. I know how other people see me. They see someone so obsessed with her craft that she would so easily miss things like a party for it. Outside the parlour, people hurry about here and there in preparation for the bride's grand housewarming party. None spare me glances slip past them, each working on their appointed roles and not daring to slack off while they work for what is probably the most powerful couple in Luxbourne. I make it in the kitchen with ease, the wine cellar being my final destination. But is a great task ever simple? Probably never. And this is a great task, isn't it? My greatest one yet that is worthy of being called a quest. I'm not Agnes Marianne McCulloch, the professional interior designer when I choose to lie about being too busy for a party. I'm Marianne McCulloch, a lawful, neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma. Just think of it like that makes it a bit cheesy. But it helps with the fear. It helps overcome the insane thought that I'm actually seeking out something that has been plaguing me for years. I might face my worst nightmare, or I might see nothing about myself imagined grand quest fall flat. And who would have thought that the gatekeeper of my final quest would be someone I thought would be a valuable ally?
Schnell! Hurry up, you snails!
Schneller,
We are
schneller.
on a deadline and you are wasting my time!
The butler comes from the cellar and into the kitchen, followed by a couple of others. People who I assume are most likely chefs and bartenders. He raised a brow, seeing me just standing there by the hedge, by the trapdoor. It almost looks like he's gonna throw me out for being in the kitchen without permission. But then he motions for the others to disperse and familiarize themselves with their surroundings. Meanwhile, he continues to stand there, preventing entry into the darkness beyond.
What are you doing here, Fraulein? This is not the place for guests or in an architect right now. I request you leave.
I was just looking around for any last minute things, yes?
Yes, you have been doing that a lot. Looking around, snooping about. Now is not the time for such things. If you're not careful, people might think you are up to something.
The look he gives me as he says is almost chilling. If life was a game book, he'd probably be the true neutral warlock guarding the treasure room. A difficult opponent to beat with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in dexterity.
Well, I'm not done yet. I actually need to go into the wine cellar. Just need a quick go at the place. So just don't mind me. I'll be out of your hair soon enough.
Go outside, enjoy the party. Bask in the praise and adulation they will no doubt shower you with when the madam speaks highly of you. Surely you've had enough of this stuffy old kitchen by now. You do not want to cause trouble. Both the bratwurst and Hannah want this to be perfect. It would be a disservice and disrespect to toe out of line and risk it being anything otherwise. And more importantly, I will be blamed for any failure that happens tonight.
His intervention almost turns me away. Maybe this is a sign I'm not meant to seek Lorraine out. But...
Please, it's really important.
15 minutes. 9. 10 minutes. Any longer and I'll pull you out of there myself. The bratwurst will be furious if he thinks anyone is touching his precious wine without his permission.
Oopsie.
Thank you. This seriously means a lot.
He steps aside, begrudgingly. At this point, it looks like there's no turning back. The cellar greets me ominously as I descend. The space feels smaller with a lot more bottles lining the wall compared to before, and knowing what might be waiting for me here makes things worse. The mirror that had been moved from the study is my goal. I did not return to it after my initial discovery, but I thought of Lorraine, how much I want to see her again, even if it's just for one time, keeps coming back to mind. As I walk through the cellar, I have to stop when I feel something crunch beneath my feet. When there were a few bottles were left behind here, and now nothing but glass under my heels. Perhaps dropped by one of the many chefs and bartenders the butler had escorted through here before. And it made a downright mess, with red slick pooling from the remnants of good drink. With how dark this place is, a person with dark enough imagination can easily mistake it for blood. I can't help but think it is, despite the easy, logical explanation that had come to my mind, only because of what I'm about to do. It merely a momentary distraction as I continue the end of the cellar where the mirror stands. Propped up on the far wall, it gleams innocently while pretending to be a simple and ordinary mirror. How morbid to think this thing can show a person their deepest, most desperate desires, and then twist it in an image so dark. That's what I had seen that day. Though I heard Lorraine many times, I had only seen her here within its frame. I wonder if people have discovered it before. How many were wasted away in front of it, enamored, and how many were frightened away by what they saw? Yet I stand before it now. Nothing. I can barely see my own reflection in this darkness.
How does this even work? Mirror, mirror on the wall? Something? Anything?
Oh, please don't jump. Nothing. Touching the surface doesn't make it magically activate or anything like that. There's no sudden surge of power, and I'm not suddenly granted sight. It stays what it is, a mirror. Was Lorraine's appearance in the mirror all some sort of fever dream? Am I really that burdened with guilt and despair, that my mind will eat itself in my stress and have me hallucinate such things? Either way, just going here on some crazed obsession for a girl long gone must warrant me a trip to a doctor. Already I feel ill. After a few more minutes, in the hopes that something would change, I turn around to leave. I can just go back upstairs like nothing ever happened. Perhaps drop by the party for some hors d'oeuvre, then go home and collect myself. Besides, Mrs. Wright is expecting me and I'm...
Going to leave me again then, are you?
I stop in my tracks, but I don't turn back. As much as it pains me, I don't look back. If I'm just hearing her again, desperately delusional, and I look back to see nothing, I don't want to give myself false hope. But when I feel fingers around my wrist pull at me, I look back in shock. My first thought is, how in God's name is this possible? And the second is, rain? Her hands are cold.
Are you that mad at me that you're just going to ignore me, Marianne?
I don't know what to say, and I can only stare at her in wonder. She stands there, in a mirror, with only her arm extended outward for my sake. I look at her hand still holding my wrist, and when she sees me looking at it, she moves it so that our hands are intertwined, fingers weave together. Seeing her there and feeling a touch meant I'm not crazy, however impossible and unexplainable this all to me right now. It just takes my breath away. Pulling her out from there is tempting. I can imagine doing so with ease. We can be together again, Lorraine and Marianne, like nothing had ever happened. But that would be all a great big lie, wouldn't it?
What? Pack out your tongue?
Not brutal.
Don't just look at me like that. Say something.
Even if this thing were some magic portal that could bring back the dead, it doesn't erase anything. Just looking at her, still a younger teenager while I'm already a grown woman, it serves no other reason than to break the illusion that blinds me. I've seen her twice now, always behind the mirror. If this is real, this isn't some delusion, then why can she only exist behind the glass?
You have no idea how happy I am to see you. It's been so long.
You don't look happy.
I really am happy. But at the same time, I can't help but think about what happened. To you.
And what does that mean? What are you saying?
She gives me the peculiar look, and before my eyes, she moves to step out of the mirror. In turn, I wrench my hand from her and take a step back, almost as though I'm afraid.
I don't know how this is possible. But whatever this is, it isn't real. You can't be real.
I'm right here, aren't I? What other proof do you need?
No, I see you. I hear you. I feel you. But even with all that, you can't be real. You just can't. I saw your body. I helped bury you. You're dead.
A deep hurt crosses her face, and it just breaks my heart in two, seeing her wear that expression.
Burying me wasn't the only thing you did. Don't you dare lie. But I'm going to be the bigger woman, aren't I? Let bygones be bygones. I'll forgive you, as long as you stay with me, Marianne. That's why you came down here, right? To find me?
That was the plan. I came down here looking for her, for closure. But this isn't just closure. This is something else entirely. I didn't think I would be forced to make such a choice. Do I leave or do I stay? It's time to let go of the past, Marianne. Oh my god, one decision's gonna get her killed, isn't it? Let go of the past. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Closure. That's all I came here for. Whatever this is, it might as well all be just a devil's trick. And I might as well make some use of it, right? I say nothing at first, a bit of anger whatever fandom this is. I take Lorraine's hand and bring it up to my lips, pressing a kiss to her knuckles. She takes it as some sort of invitation to pull me along, and step back into the mirror until only her arm is extended again.
I should have been more honest back then, both to you and myself. I know it's too late. I'm sorry. But
the thought of being with the dead did not agree with me. Not one bit.
I can't stay with you.
So what? You're going to leave me for some old trophy wife? That's it, isn't it? You're going to leave poor Amy Lorraine and go after the next rich, pretty blonde that you see.
This is a mistake.
All these years, guilt has been my driving force. I felt so guilty for what I did, what I didn't do.
She thinks she can guilt me into being complacent, but she realizes otherwise as I pull my hand from her. And going by the look of anger on her face, and anger that runs cold, she did not like the fact that I am not some puppet on a string. Had she chosen her words carefully, I would have accepted whatever punishment Lorraine chose to give me. Guilt had ran through my life, and it might have very well ended it. Because I deserved it.
But what I did to me. The blood in my hands is mine, not yours.
Whatever this shadow is, my gut tells me she's not Lorraine. Yet I keep talking as if she is.
I broke your heart, not your neck.
Don't you dare deny it! It was your fault!
Because I loved you more than I dared to admit? Yes, that was my fault. But I never meant to hurt you like that.
Despite my words, no matter how sincere they are, she appears angry, enraged in fact. It's been years since I last saw that face, and even now, the memory of it is still etched deeply in my mind. The hurt, the tears, and the hate spilling from her eyes that day, the moment I rejected her, rejected myself for who I am. And she definitely will hate what I am about to do next. To my left, a wine rack. And from there, I take a bottle and pray to all the saints I can remember. For all of my sins. For every hurtful words I've uttered. For what I have driven here to do that day. what I forced her into.
What are you doing?
I do it without thinking twice. Quickly, before I can hesitate, I grab a bottle and send it straight towards the mirror. Shards of the bottle and the mirror are sent flying everywhere as Lorraine screams echo into the cellar. Bitter, searing, like every wounding accusation she hurled at me. They've never left me. I doubt they ever will. But with this, I can move away from them, from her, live my life as I should, free from the burden. Her burden. Because Lorraine, I know, the real one, the person I loved, will never want me carrying this to my death. As the screaming dies down, I can't help but mutter weakly.
It's done. It's done.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Oh, Lorraine. Forgive me, Lorraine.
I take some time to compose myself, breathing in and out, and stemming down on the tremors still racking my hands, straightening out my jacket and fixing my hair. All a weak attempt at returning myself to someone resembling my normal self. This will probably be easier to do so with a mirror, but I likely won't be able to stand looking at one for a long time.
Well now, I should probably go back up there. Party to attend, rich socialites to do business with, and food to eat. Mrs. Wright will be happy if I make some time for it anyway.
Yeah, one last time. Shut the glass between my feet.
I'm sorry, Lorraine. May you see God's light on the path.
Turning around to leave, and for good this time, Denise's smile on my face falls as I see Lorraine. Whole and well.
Come on, Mac. You really didn't think it would be that easy, did you? You get bonus points for trying. But you should know an 8 in charisma is not enough to turn undead.
She advances towards me, backs me against the wall. I can't even reach for another wine bottle without putting myself within her reach. Despite my early bravado, I didn't think she'd be able to exist at all without the mirror. Can you blame me at all? Is that like I'm an expert on the supernatural?
That's not... You shouldn't be...
What? Out of the mirror? Did you think just moving on will erase what you did to me? You're nothing but a murderer, Marianne. A murderer!
Stay back. You're not real. Leave me alone. Stop. I'm trying to move on with my life, so why won't you let me? Please, just get out of my head and leave me be.
I try to find an exit when there's a click. The next thing I know, I'm falling back into the darkness. I fall on my back and a door slams shut behind me. A hidden wall? In a daze, I look around warily and find myself in another room entirely. On the other side of the wall, some sort of secret passage, perhaps? An underground tunnel that has me wary and frightened. It also proves that the oddities in the mansion's floor plans are a lot more than just little discrepancies. I expect Lorraine to jump out at me from the darkness at any time. A breeze blowing through the tunnel has me relieved thought at the idea that there is still a way to escape, should it happen. This is way better than being trapped on the ground with only God knows what that was. You're not out of the woods yet. A funny thought comes to mind as I start walking to where the exit might be. I think about how Mrs. Wright would be so disappointed if I didn't show up to her party. I imagine how furious Mr. Wright would be for breaking one of his wine bottles. Even Johan's reaction comes to mind, or I don't really know if that guy. One thing's for sure is that I will be calling Cam and Haruna for a drink as soon as I get out of here. That notices me wary. No! A ghastly thing, a corpse of a woman, leans on the wall. Her arms and limbs, almost every inch of her little body, is peppered with wounds and rotting flesh. And it is then that the putrid smell of blood and gore hits me, making it so that I don't even question how I missed it in the first place.
How long has this been here?
No clue.
Oh, that smell. Oh, you're a nasty one, aren't you?
No, I flinch as the thing twitches. And as soon as it opens its eyes and looks at me with a smile, there's something on my mind but horror. I break into a run. Come on, run away, girl. Run. But I keep on running, no matter how much my legs and feet scream on the top to stop. I keep going, even when I look back and see nothing of her anymore, because I can still hear her. The scrambling of her feet, the words she tries to form with her bloody mouth, and the painful sounds of bones scraping against each other as she moves closer and closer to me.
How long are these damn tunnels?
There's a split second where I know that the thing is right behind me. A strange sensation creeping over my limbs when her presence looms over me. And then suddenly, I can't even do anything before I'm yanked by the hair and pulled back. Still a struggle up until I'm thrown to the side like some rag doll. I hit the ground on my side, and the musty smell of old hay that reaches me is my only indication I'm still alive.
Please don't hurt me.
My body hurts and keep my eyes shut tight, afraid of what might happen next.
What's wrong, Marianne? Are you really afraid of little old me?
There's only dread seeing how she's followed me even here. She looms over me, backs me further in the cell that I was thrown in.
Please. It's so cold. I don't want to be alone, Marianne. Why won't you stay with me? Why would you leave me? Why? What are you?
Lorraine turns and she's not a thing from before. And with that same gruesome grin, he takes a step forward towards the cell. Towards me. I barely scramble on my knees when the door to the cell slams shut and it just stands there staring. Shouts for help ring into the tunnels. But none of them are coming from me. I'm all paralyzed and shocked by what is happening. That cannot be sex, Gamma, can it? My throat tightens at being fooled by the image of Lorraine and the thought of being trapped down here. So then, where?
Help me, oh help me! Are you getting all this on camera, Carl? Yeah, but are you guys sure this is a good idea? We're breaking and entering here. Don't worry, the owners of this place haven't been here in a long time. Look at this thing, though. It has writing in blood like some cheesy 80s horror prop. Wait, I have an idea. Oh man, that's genius!
So he added sentence of 5 people or else.
What kind of butthead would even take this thing seriously? Maybe we can stick this in Rowan's backpack. That's Juarez kid would panic.
Guys? What? Spit it out! Behind you!
There in the corner of the cell! Oh my god! The digital camera comes flickering to life and the video has played back on the screen. It was hard to even consider paying any attention to it and my life is on the line. But when the ghost doesn't move and the teenagers' mocking shouts of help me filled the cell, I just had to watch. And what I had seen, students judging by the same correct uniforms. They were holding
That letter.
and that thing, the woman, she killed him. Did you saw also twisting into the lady? What's her name? Oh my god. Jesus, Mises. Alright. Break us another time, but she killed those children as well. What the hell is her problem? And was it me or did she like changed into the person that probably Lady Ermengarde herself? You know, the daughter? I don't remember the name, but wow. Alright. Lots of questions though. Like, are they like one and the same? Anyway, I hope you guys still like it. Let me know. See you next time.